FYP Production.
She fell in love with the bad guy, but she loves my intentions. Nothing feels better than the moment we're sinning, no. Nothing feels better than the moment we're kissing. I'll say I'll love her for forever, in the morning forget her. She was raised under money, growing up she couldn't see the poor. Save my number in her phone under me or more. Look me in my eyes and ask what I need her for. So in this game of life, she just might keep a score. And darkness is clouding my judgment. Marijuana clouds cause the loud is so pungent. But me, I haven't touched a drug since that trade of white. I live my life before the fight like I'm Dana White. The block is hot like that boy band with Nick Lachey. Hold my heart in your hands like a Fabergé. Precious. We was young, dumb, and reckless. Living like the devil couldn't catch us. Life.
And we back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And if this is your first time, allow me to introduce you to the YSO podcast for the youth, by the youth, being a voice of the youth by giving a voice to the youth, you dig? And if you are, a returning viewer, then you already know we gotta apologize because we is behind schedule, you know what I mean? Yeah, we came on that CPT, usual start time 7:30. Some situations like oxygen existing got in the way of that. So but we here now, you know what I mean? And you missed us, but it's all right. You was able to sit in, relax and get comfortable. And before we even get started on the episode, we got to give a huge shout out to a huge supporter, day one rider of the YSO podcast, and the person who allows us this oasis of the studio. It is a big happy birthday to Naquana Thomas. See us live in the studio. We are in the basement of Naquana Thomas's home. And that's fam. I literally, this child.
Wait to her mother,
sister. And so yeah, happy birthday, many blessings and successes and whatever else people get on their birthday to you, you know what I mean? And
why you gotta do that right now?
yeah,
I thought it was
pretty
a standard, but
underwhelming.
It's like an actual gunshot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I mean, you know what I mean? You see us, we back, you know what I mean? 2 weeks ago when we was virtual, I wasn't present, brother had rehearsal. But I'm happy to be back with my peoples, doing what we love, and that's holding it down, and being, the freshest podcast that you know. And if you know a fresher podcast, bump them. Tell them we want smoke.
Thanks, guys.
We really want to.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. You know what I mean? But yeah, we want all of that podcast smoke with everyone.
We really did, to be honest.
Line them up. All the smoke, drink champs, Joe Budden. I'm coming for everyone.
Everybody.
The Reed. I want the
Joe
top
Rogan.
of the top. Oh, I definitely want the Joe Rogan podcast.
Nah, when the change come with
Yeah.
You'll see the change.
Yeah, a change gonna come.
If the change is watching, the change knows. See what I mean? Like, come on, man. Can't do it. How we do it? It's chemistry.
But yeah, you know what I mean? We here and we back, you know what I mean? We're gonna do the introductions. You already know it's your MC who's so fresh, clean, Emmanuel Lyons, also known as Saint Even, Bangs, not the Bayang.
Not the Bayang.
Bangs, not the bang.
Well, we back with another pod, so that means I'm back with another character. This week, I'm Gandalf the White.
Ooh,
Gandalf.
That's two towers,
Gandalf.
plot twist. Even though they put it in the trailer, so it wasn't a plot twist.
So last week I was Anakin Skywalker. I don't know. That was a random thought. But this week it was actually, I put some thought into it. So I thought of my favorite movies, and Lord of the Rings is up there in top trilogies, and I was like, without Gandalf, they
They wouldn't flow.
yeah.
Nothing.
So
Mhm.
Gandalf the White, and then You Shall Not Pass is like one of my like. I think I cried the last time I watched it.
Bye.
I'm actually,
definitely did.
especially funny you
You
chose like,
shall not like. Come on.
I'm literally
Yes.
watching Lord of the
Yes.
Rings right now. I'm finally on Return of the King because I'll be starting it and like remember I have things to do in the 3 hours each.
Yeah.
But it's funny
Like
you chose
me and my mom, and then sometimes too,
Things to
we
do.
would take full Saturdays and just sit down and watch the trilogy.
And it would never be us. It would always be her to start. We just watch it.
Yeah.
it's a phenomenal trilogy. It was my favorite trilogy until the Dark Knight trilogy. And I was like,
Unpopular
It's
opinion,
1A
I
and
think
1B.
how you say his name? Joaquin Phoenix?
Joaquin.
Joaquin Phoenix.
You
I
said
think.
poet?
Listen, it's how it's spelled. I think his
That's not-
Right.
Joker
Sound like
performance is
Roanoke.
up there with Heath Ledger's. Unpopular opinion. It might be.
well, they both won the Oscar.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
Very
gonna say this. He did a good job of making people forget, but like he did the best that Joaquin would do, if that makes sense. Like
Like
was
Jared
able
Leto
to
was
take
not
that
forgettable.
Yeah.
Well, Jared Leto's
Yes.
Joker was also written terribly.
facts. So
Jared Leto's Joker was so bad. I saw like kids who like don't know movies trashing Jared Leto as an actor, and I was like,
Jared Leto is not
shut
a bad
up.
actor.
Jared Leto gets busy.
It's-
Mr. Nobody, Dallas Buyers Club, like Requiem for a Dream. Watch your mouth about Jared Leto. Granted, though, his Joker's dookie, pure trash. But I could
Joaquin
not.
just really performed well.
Joaquin Phoenix is one of my favorite actors
saw
of all
that.
time. He doesn't have a bad performance, in my opinion. So, I mean, I agree that his performance is phenomenal. I think it's always difficult when you lose somebody.
Yeah.
It just in general, nonetheless, in the way that we lost Heath, to do the comparisons.
Mhm.
And I'm glad Todd Phillips made, this Joker and this origin story, if you will, very different so that it couldn't even feel the same.
Yeah.
2 masterful performances, 2 Oscars in the bag. And the Joker is still the greatest comic book villain in all of comic book history, and I'm willing to go to war with anyone about that.
I agree. But yeah, that's why I chose Gandalf.
Wow, that's where that started.
Full circle.
Full circle.
Anyways, okay. Hi, everybody. It's Ashton.
We're still on intro.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are still.
Facts. So yeah, we back, you know what I mean? And we just gonna dive right in, you know what I mean? But before we go in, just giving y'all a kind of a concept or idea how this is gonna go. We be wild roller coaster, but we gonna start off a little bit, lower so that we can
Just a
then,
tad.
get higher.
Just to inform y'all of what's going on.
We gotta stay
Y'all
informed,
might not
stay
know.
abreast of what's going on. So kick us off.
So, the Philly riots. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but a young man named
they
Walter
going crazy.
Wallace
As they
was
should.
shot and killed by police. He was a 27-year-old man. Monday, in front of his family home, his mother said the police knew he was having a mental crisis because she told them and begged them not to shoot him. The killing of Walter Wallace Jr. has sparked protests as well as rioting and looting in Philadelphia. They tore that Walmart up.
As they should.
Walmart, they tore
Tear it
that
up.
dealership up. Boy,
Yeah,
it was
I saw that
swerving
too.
off the lot. And I love it. Every bit of it. Y'all
Mirrors
better scratch them bin numbers. That's
what
all I
experts
know.
say is an ongoing problem nationwide of law enforcement officers using deadly force on mentally ill people.
Mhm.
His mother said police were called to her home 3 times on Monday, but were not able to help her and her family deal with the mental health emergency her son was experiencing. She said that when officers returned to her home the 3rd time, they ended up shooting her son multiple times when he broke free of her and appeared to step forward toward 2 officers with a knife. See, here, me and E were talking about this off mic earlier, and I asked the question, why would she call the police knowing what was going on? And he said,
Who else can you call?
exactly. That's what he
Exactly.
said. Who else is she supposed to call? And that's the problem.
That is the problem.
That's the problem. And my thing is, like, I see a lot of people say reform, but you can't reform a system that is teaching these men and women to shoot first and ask questions later.
And no, the thing is, they're not teaching them that. They teach them, they go through hours of de-escalation training.
Well,
They choose not to do it. Like that's a greater issue in itself.
Yeah.
Like how do you
It's a choice.
you're literally choosing to ignore your training and to like there was a cop there some black guy tweeted, I'm a cop.
I saw that.
So that's
Yeah.
I've been through hours of de-escalation training. If you charge at me at all, doesn't matter what color you are, I'm going to shoot you. And that's a black man.
And
They said multiple times.
And then I saw somebody quote it and said, so you're basically saying the de-escalation
It doesn't work.
It does not work.
Because
they choose to ignore it.
And then there's other videos of where you see people of the opposite race doing the same exact thing and end up living through the situation. So it's kind of frustrating. Yeah, it's kind of frustrating because it's like, here we go again.
If you feel like you have to stop them doing something less than putting a ton of bullets in them.
You have tasers.
I think
pepper spray.
I think one thing
Even
that's
if you feel you got a
unfortunate.
wound, why not the leg? Why you gotta kill them?
Well, they're trained.
You can
like,
possibly, depending
I feel
on
like-
your femoral arteries in your thigh. So
I feel like I remember Deacon Mike saying, shout out to Deacon Mike, that they're trained to, when they shoot to kill.
Yeah, like when you're shooting, you're not aiming to wound. Most people they're aiming to in the person's life.
Shooting
at
is
least
not a woundful action.
Yeah.
definitely.
Like it can't, but like if you
And
are
it's easy to miss.
shooting is something that if you are doing it, you should not be doing it with anything short of intent to take the life of the person you're shooting at.
Right.
There shouldn't be, and that's in any form. If it's self-defense, if you're out sliding on a mission, which we do not endorse, but it does happen. If you're in war, it doesn't, like, shooting is not for play. So of course when they're shooting to kill. And I think, unfortunately, the turbulent times that we're in and just the hectic year that 2020 has been doesn't play well into these situations, because ironically, when the eyes are on the police the most and when the pressure is at its highest because of all the brutality, rather than being aware of it and acting opposite, we see them cling to those instincts. We see them try to enforce those powers, and we see them end up doing more of the same. And that's why I think a lot of situations where maybe, not saying this is the case with Wallace, but just maybe a situation where, man, maybe this would have ended a little bit better. In a situation like this, where everything is so sensitive and you walk outside and you could cut the tension in the air with a butter knife, they end up fatal more often. And that's why we've been nonstop, endlessly saying names all year. Well, I mean, yeah, but we've been doing a lot better this year of not letting names fly under the radar.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's still situations that I'm seeing about where people are like calling for justice for local situations that have happened in January, February, March, April, and they're not letting up.
Yeah.
And they're getting the retweets and they're getting the Instagram reposts, which unfortunately is all they can hope for, because the news and mass media is not going to give us the coverage that we should be getting.
Not trying to.
So
then at the same time, sorry to cut you off, but then at the same time, there's also the issue of like the false narratives that are going on too. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's, of course, especially in America, our government, most of the billionaires that exist, they thrive off of the discord that goes on in this country. I don't think people understand that a lot of things that are happening in America are supposed to be happening because that was the intent when this country was established. So you have those people who are in power that, believe the same things that people from other, I don't want to say other nations believe, but there's doctrines about like population control and stuff of that nature. You know what I'm saying? There's a monument in Georgia called the Georgia Guidestones where it goes through a detailed list of how to make sure you can keep the human population within like millions and not the billions that we're at. You know what I'm saying? They want to like drastically reduce the human population because they believe that there's not enough resources. The devil done told them, there's too many people here, bro. You feel me? But it's like as if, the world we live in was made to balance itself out. You know what I'm saying? So like the things that are happening, all the repercussions like around the world, like it's showing. You know what I'm saying? You see what's happening in Nigeria. You see what's happening in the Congo. You see what's happening in Liberia. You see what's happening in Israel. Like, there's literally the world is dang near on fire. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's not just us. You know, it's not just us. We have our own unique issue as of right now, but it's a lot going on right now.
I seen a tweet earlier that said the power's out.
When I drove to S&W this morning to try to get a new rim for my tire, every light was out.
Yeah, didn't I say that?
Yep. Like
My
power
power went out
outage,
since 5
pandemic,
o'clock this morning.
Mercury and microwave leading to Halloween, full moon, and the time change right before historic perfection. What is Mercury and retrograde? What does that mean?
It's
Something
it's
with
astrology.
astrology,
Yeah, it's
the
astrology.
stars, the moon.
I just like how they
sun.
mess with like Mercury and Gatorade.
All I know is, I mean, I know like to an extent I know it has some sort of effect on us, but like at the end of the day, I don't know, bro. I am who I am. You know, I feel like
I am what I am.
Like, I remember somebody they like read me the rest of my list because I know I'm just a Virgo.
Yeah, they
like,
gave you all of your
they gave me my sun, moon, and
your
all
rising
houses.
sun,
So yeah,
your
she
moon
was
is
like, so
in,
your
yeah.
personality is like this, but you're really like this. And like the whole time I'm listening, I'm like, that's right, that's right, that's wrong, that's right, that's wrong. And I'll kind of like stop myself and I'm like, why am I really feeding myself? Like I was just like, yeah, okay.
Not yet.
The astrology game is growing every day.
It is.
It's cool.
It's kind of
I'm not gonna live my
It's
life.
very interesting.
it's
I'm not making decisions.
and yeah, I think it's just you gotta find your balance. You gotta find your balance. You know what I mean? Like, is it clearly it matters to a degree because there's just too many things that are generally on the mark for the majority of the time. But do you treat it like the Bible and like learn it and study it and master it in every moment? Like a lot of people I know do that are all living for something.
Because
No. I do got one homie who's a guy.
Respectfully, I feel like women more so like when they feel like they can control something, it helps them out like psychologically. So like if they feel like they know who you are just off of one thing, they feel like they can move
Better.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I know
like
girls
that
who be
helps
having
someone.
dudes whole housing chart and still get played. So
I know women who are psychology
No,
majors and still have got played.
I literally know a girl who said he about to be moving funny, so I'm paying extra attention because she read his horoscope and then was completely oblivious to the moving funny he was doing in that season when she said she was gonna pay more attention. I was like, girl, how you missed that? I saw it. It wasn't that hard. You in the same close friends that I'm in. Look, that's clearly your arm.
One of the smartest things on this planet, but if they're in love, all that.
Because real
Oh, that's
must be
big
out
facts.
here.
I don't
I feel like that's a lot of people.
Yeah, I
Not
think-
just women.
No, I think when you're in love, it doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
True. A lot of your wisdom
It's
go
just-
out the
just
window.
certain things kinda just-
I think
I think y'all.
I think the level for y'all is lower.
no, yeah, I do. I think women
like
I think
the
women are
threshold.
more, but I think they've been
What
trained
the
to
threshold of
to do
idiocy
something.
when it comes to like.
What are you talking about?
So like there's a level of feeling
know,
like
I'm
once
going
you feel that level, you start like once you pass that threshold, it's weird.
I would say that does not apply to me.
I'm not saying
Because I
you.
have very
You know
strong
what I'm saying?
standards.
You're
But some people do. When they love somebody, they just
yeah,
let
I
stuff
know.
go.
Yeah, and I know you
It
know some
happens.
folks
When I'm in
that
love, I
It's
get a
not
little stupid.
every woman.
they gonna came to you with some issues and you
Not
like,
really.
bruh, leave.
My first go round was very stupid.
Yes.
It's like,
There are
bruh.
definitely women who will just excuse stuff.
And you just cried to me for 17 hours about him.
Did you see what I mean?
And
Yeah,
you
like-
run right back to him. You're like, how did it go? Oh yeah, we back together. You was
And on that point, stop putting it on social media. Stop, okay? Because
We don't want to hear
no,
about it.
just
You're
on
gonna
your
get back
picture,
together.
just on your picture or your spam or your social
Laptop has Zoom, so you can zoom it on my face. Stop putting it on so we don't care.
You're not Cardi,
No,
and you
I
don't
only
care
care
that you're
if you
filing for
actually
divorce.
stick to what you said you were gonna do.
Bro,
If you get back together with them, I'm judging.
Cardi
I
filed for
unfollow.
divorce and back. That's not even.
What's the name?
Yes.
Hey, bro.
Crazy.
Oh yeah, she got put together with him.
And
Like
she,
3
like
years
that's
later.
not breaking up, bro. She filed for
Oh, I
divorce.
thought you meant.
Oh no. Iggy, but hey, it's only been a few days. Iggy can bounce back. And that's the point. And look, you grown and you got all of the right to do whatever
Well,
you
actually,
want.
that situation, TMZ broke that, right?
What? Iggy?
Offset and like
But
she
that's
didn't
because
Yeah.
no, she streamed it. She had a she streamed it on like on OnlyFans, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, so it was just like an Instagram live type thing
Yeah,
that she
she
did on
did.
her OnlyFans.
Oh,
So you
And
got.
said like why she was filing for divorce and that whole thing.
So what was her reason?
She said that basically she was scared that he was gonna cheat again, so she wanted to
But
get
he
out
didn't
before it happened
cheat?
again. He already did
He
cheat
cheated
before.
once.
Well, he cheated once, but
No,
he
she caught him once.
well,
She caught
listen,
him once.
you
I'm
can
about my
only
business
be
on that.
you can only be indicted on the crimes they got evidence.
That's true. That's true.
Well, I mean, I get it.
Fall
That
in the
creates like
force and ain't nobody
insecurity
around.
and jealousy and
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
that's a lot. That's a lot. Cheating is that's a
Well, no,
lot.
of course it is.
But since we're here, like on the relationship type music, whatever, do y'all remember how trash of a group Young Money was besides Drake and Nicki?
Yes.
Like if
Yes.
you take those two
Who
people
was-
out,
who
Except for T
Lil
Ranks.
Twist?
I don't know who was T Ranks.
who was good? Like
T
what are these
T
people?
Streets.
What
It's
are
T
these?
Streets, Gutter
Who
Gutter.
did that?
Listen, it's T Streets, Gutter Gutter, Chanel, J Mills, Lil Twist, Lil
Mac
Chucky,
Mac
Mac Main,
Like what
and
do
then
these people
Tyga.
do now?
Drake, Nicki. What did they do?
Lil
Lil Twist was in jail a little while ago.
Recently?
Yo, Salecho got locked up recently, but he back out now. Yeah. Yeah, but it was like 140 something. It was like super.
I don't think Hood Rich pulled the trigger.
It's his gun.
I'm like,
Yeah.
The gun is registered in his name.
All right, forget the
His
agenda.
license.
Bro, he's been robbed 30 times and now you're going to prison for Rico?
I'm telling you, I know for
Rico
a fact.
doesn't play with Rico.
I know for a
That means
fact
they
those
got
robberies
evidence.
are the reason why he ended up like being tagged. Because
Yeah.
no, okay, I don't listen to him for Bobby Law. I don't know too
I
much.
like Hood Going Love.
But I do know, like the group. There's a dude named R. Hector that I listen to. Their group is heavily involved with real drugs, like actual drugs.
Yeah, they look like.
And
Like moving?
like yes,
Oh.
like and the reason why
Moving
like he
before
got
they
robbed
killed
a lot because of his involvement.
Niggas was
in
taking his chain
drugs.
every other weekend.
Yes,
Just for
bro.
the drugs?
I don't know. I
don't know.
I don't know
Just
who
for the
it-
flex.
I don't know who
I
he
seen a
is
dude
to
who looked like a
streets.
Poindexter with Hood Rich chain, and
Yeah, I don't know who
they
he is
iced
to the
diamond
streets.
tester and everything. It was sad.
Yeah, I don't know who he is to the streets. You know what I'm saying? To everybody else, he might be something different. I don't know who he is to the streets and how he's moving. I don't know if he's a head honcho for some young kids,
He can't be a
whatever.
head honcho.
But to us, you know what I'm saying? You would be surprised.
Yeah, you could.
The first time,
Rob that
I feel like
much.
people in the
Sometimes if you
limelight
touchable,
shouldn't be.
first of all,
head
anybody
honchos.
can get touched.
Because I feel like people who are in the limelight like he is shouldn't be head honchos because
Of course,
you
that's
have
why
eyes
Meech.
watching you.
Mitch got tapped.
Yeah.
You know what
But
I'm
at least
saying?
Meech wasn't rap. I mean, granted, he was the head of the label, but
But you said
you
that
gonna
was
get
his
more
gun.
shine
That was
being a
his gun.
rapper.
True, but
So,
you know what I'm saying?
But
To us,
BMF was.
but in that
bigger than
world,
mine, so it don't
like,
matter.
in that world,
So how did they tie this
owners of
Rico
the label,
case
that's
into
it's being talked
that
to.
murder case with his gun?
You said what?
How did they tie this?
How they tie any gun to?
Yeah, I think they had the gun. Like I think
And then when
the
he
gun
got
was
They
left
just
at the
traced
crime
it back
scene,
to him.
and then they found somehow.
You know, they matched it with the bullet that they found
Yeah,
in
they
the
gotta match
body,
it,
like
yeah.
all that stuff.
All that. Hey, look, and I was having this conversation with some real people
I
from
don't know
Atlanta
nothing
the
about
other day.
nothing. I'm just saying.
My boy Domino Savage, shout out my man's. Him and his homeboys dropped a tape called "Raised on Survival." I don't know if y'all really rock with that because it's a little bit, you know what I'm saying, a little bit more our crap, you know what I'm saying. But if you want to check it out, you can check it out because that's my friend and I really love him. He supports me in my music. I love him and I support him in his music. We've been friends since like 4th grade, and it's, you know what I'm saying. So that. But I was in the studio with him recently this weekend. He had a little listening party or whatever, and they were talking about it, and like they were saying that, you know, like streets talk differently than everywhere else.
Absolutely.
So if he has any connection to Marlo being murdered, it's raps for him.
Mhm.
Forget the Rico. It's a dub for him because that was different. That was like the equivalent of us losing Bankroll Fresh like at the time. You know,
And it was
Marlo was
so-
just like really right
And
before that.
it was so random.
Yeah.
And even the way they did it, listen, we lose a lot of rappers in Atlanta. It's almost always, sadly, like the same scenario. It's usually at somebody's crib or like a studio, like a, you know what I mean? It's late at night. It's a close, yeah. They slid on him on the interstate.
Yeah.
That don't even make sense to me.
That means they were.
That's something out of a movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Shut up a question.
Like why? Like on the highway, what do you?
You can't even defend yourself on the highway. Like, especially if he was driving.
Yeah, if he was driving.
yeah, if somebody got to dropping you on the highway,
It's about over.
Yeah, that's not.
Sorry.
Your best bet is to put the pedal to the metal.
Your best bet is to notice that they're there before they shoot. Like,
yeah,
and then just
and that's why I said if they got the drop on you, it's a dub.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something I'll be like.
No, you're not even paying attention. Like, you're driving, so
Me, I'll be focused on staying in the lane.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially
you can look at the mirrors, but even on the highway, especially like looking at the mirrors for 2 seconds could end in something.
Yeah, you be veering left or right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta just, you know what I'm saying? Fast, quick.
See, me, I'm paranoid. If anybody make like the same 2 turns as me, I stop.
Same.
No, real deal. The other day,
it's like
I was getting I felt like I was getting followed, and I started going mad slow, like under the speed limit. So I was like, "Look, you want to follow me? We both are." And so I was going mad slow, and they eventually went around. Then I ended up seeing them again at another light, or it was just the same car. But I don't trust Suburbans, and it was a blue Suburban. So I was like, "Yeah, who are you?"
I remember
Suburban.
I remember
Yeah,
one time,
Mm-mm.
I remember one time that night, I was coming back from, I don't even remember where I was coming back from. I just know that I was coming back from the North Lake area. Like the road that's like
North Lake? That's the North Lake area.
But like I'm coming back to Lee Road.
From North Lake?
Yeah.
Yeah. On North Lake Road. That's what I'm saying.
I thought North Lake Road was the one that went to the light.
Yeah.
No, not there. I didn't go to the light. I made a right before that light, and I'm on that street.
So if we're coming from our house,
I would make a right onto Lee Road at that little gas station, whatever. So basically, yeah.
Yeah,
So
he was on the Arrow Road. Word to
I'm coming up to the
then-
four-way stop. Before we stop at if we're going straight, you know what I'm saying? That takes us right to the Innocent Lips.
yeah.
So I'm making a right onto that, but there was a truck in front of me, and there was a car that was sitting at the stop sign, and they got there after the truck got there, so they were supposed to go before me, but they were just sitting there.
And they went after you.
Nah, but yeah, but like no, they didn't go after me. I flashed my lights at them, and then they went,
You know,
and then I
don't
drove
think
behind them.
ever since somebody said
Yeah, and I think honestly, I think that's what it was. Flashing your lights at somebody. Like if you
But
see a
they'll
car
drive without lights.
yeah, if you see a car without lights drive, or like
I heard
anywhere,
this
you
in
flash your
middle
lights
school.
at
It
them,
never happened.
then you become their target, and then they follow you wherever you go, and they do whatever.
What?
Yeah,
You
that's
never
they
heard
told us. Yeah, they told us
No,
that.
never heard that.
We heard that.
That's
in
middle
middle
school.
school.
I always felt like it was a creepy pasta or just like a street one because I was like I heard about it in middle school, but I only saw it on the internet. And not to snitch, but none of my homies that's ever been in a gang has ever
Yeah, mine
had that initiation ever.
Mine either. So
And so I was like, is it real or not?
Real Bloods and Crips, and they ain't never said.
Yeah, they ain't never did none of that. But all I know is when they went,
Granted, this is
there was a when they went, there was, I think there was, I don't know how, but somehow there was a car in between us. I don't remember where the position of the truck was, but the car was in between us when we started driving because I saw them get out from in front of it with their hazards on. And then after that, they got behind me. And so I drive down the hill and I just turn, I see them at the top of the hill. I turn in that first neighborhood on the right. Turned in, they passed. And I pulled up to a house. Like I pulled up to a house and I was looking at the road. They passed. I backed out. I came back to the front of the street. Bro, when I came back to the street, they were in the middle of making a 3-point turn. And when they saw me, they just kept driving straight. And boy, when I tell you, I said, I hit that, bust that right, boy, and I was, boy, I was like, them folk ain't I was just like, I don't know what was just going on. I don't think like to this day, I don't know what it was. You know what I'm saying? But it's better to be safe. And I'm always like, I usually be with people.
got it on me.
Facts, you know what I'm saying?
I got it on me.
I usually be with my
Walk
friends.
with it.
so-
Walk without it. It's in the book right now. But anyway, get back to the agenda because we just went on a long tangent. The BET Hip Hop Awards was what's today? Thursday, so it was Tuesday. This I wanted to talk about this because I saw a lot of controversy on Meg winning Hip Hop Artist of the Year. Yeah. Now I feel like I know why they did this, and I feel like we all know why they did this, but I don't even think Meg has dropped this year.
She dropped Sugar this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, she dropped Sugar EP.
What was the BITCH Tupac thing?
That's on Sugar. Yeah.
Well,
the most
she
known
was
songs
not
from
the Hip Hop Artist of the Year.
Wait, who else was on?
it was Da Baby, Lil Baby, Roddy Ricch, her. Yeah, but he dropped the end of it, so he was past the circuit. So that's why he's getting nominated for things this year.
Please.
Because he got Song of the Year and he got Album of the Year. But please excuse me for being antisocial and for the box. He got Song and Album of the Year. But they barely televised. They televised 4 awards.
I don't think they should count anything that came out pre-Rona. Like, think about it. We were dancing to the box.
Pre-Rona.
Yeah, I was getting jiggy to the box in IC.
Artist was Meg, Drake, The Baby, Roddy Ricch, Future, Lil Baby.
You mean Drake? She mean Drake?
Yeah.
What?
Did Drake drop this? Okay, but
Yeah,
Drake
dropped
dropped this year was
Dark Lane.
trash. Okay, it
Dark Lane was fire.
I hated it. I don't like it.
Sugar, but you know well.
That is a
I really like
Dark Lane is
I
hard.
have another
Dark Lane is hard.
I like Bryson Tiller.
Anniversary? Yeah, that's on purpose. That thing is amazing.
I ain't even chance. I didn't even listen to the song with Drake on it. I was just like, for some reason, I have a good intuition when it comes to that. Like, I be off sometimes, but like usually,
Yeah, like
he just came up.
If we're gonna be honest with ourselves, how did Lil Baby not like?
Lil Baby
was
so yeah, Lil Baby deserves it. But I will say this: I agree that BET gave it to her in solidarity, right? And when it comes to everything she's been through. But I will say that on paper, they can make a good argument. She's had 2 Billboard #1s this year. Savage Remix and WAP.
she's only had. I think she's only had 4 platinum songs that weren't on her feature.
If you're on a Billboard,
I think she's only had 4 songs that went platinum that she was not featured on. Maybe had 10. He had 2 songs. No, he had 10 songs go gold.
Well, Baby's album is platinum.
That went gold.
Right.
And it went platinum. Had 2 songs that went platinum. And I mean, like, Baby's numbers were better than her numbers.
I agree. Once again, I believe Baby won. I'm just saying, if you're BET and you know you want to give it to Meg, this is what you're saying. Okay. She's got 2 #1s this year. She's had this year's most viral song.
They don't have a
Savage is 2020's most. Now, if you add in the box is right there with it, and I think more.
They gave her a Hustler Award.
What is that?
I don't know.
It means you out here grinding.
Well, Rick Ross, Cardi, Cole,
Rick Ross is nominated every year, no matter what he's done.
Khaled was on it, so,
every year for the Hustler of the Year award, Rick Ross is nominated no matter what he did.
Why hasn't
She also won she also won Best Collaboration and another one.
They don't have Best Female?
Not anymore.
They should have did that instead of Best.
I think that's another thing. I think they've stopped doing Best Male and Best Female for hip hop, for the hip hop awards. I think for the BET awards, they still separated by gender, but I think for the hip hop awards, they're not separated by gender anymore. I think it's a part of this revolution to stop like putting women's music and women's hip hop in parentheses and just treat it like hip hop, which I agree with. I do think that it makes it difficult only because there's so many people you can recognize.
Yeah, maybe even the hottest female right now.
Yes.
Rapper?
Yes.
Rapper?
Yes.
I would put Flo Milli above her.
I think.
Well, I'm not talking about. We're saying like when he says hot, he means like who's #1 in the eyes of the.
Yeah,
who can you walk outside and be like, do you know who Megan Thee Stallion is? And be like, yeah.
Meg's #1 right
now.
Mulatto's hot. Mulatto's not gonna win. Mulatto was nominated for Best New Artist, which everyone in Best New Artist Best New Artist was the.
Stevie Wonder won a Lifetime Achievement.
Has he not?
He ain't dead.
They didn't give it.
I'm thinking about the tributes.
The tribute was beautiful, but Quavo should have only did Shake the Room.
Yeah.
Or and for like he should have did one But
The other,
yeah,
he did both of them.
yeah. And it was weird because it was
He
clearly
did snitching?
no.
He didn't do snitching.
No,
but
he only did 2 songs. So
Which two did you do?
he did Shake the Room and then whatever the first joint in the album's order that's him and
Snitching.
Pop.
For the night.
Nah,
No.
That's A for the.
He's not on for the night. Look it up.
The first song?
Nah, because he's not on Bad from Tokyo. Oh, he might be. It might be that.
He might be right.
No, he's on Aim for the Moon.
Yeah, Aim for the Moon.
Aim for the Moon.
Yeah, so he did.
Dang, so
He did Shake the Room
Snitching
into Aim for the Moon.
No, he shouldn't be.
I agree.
He should have snitched.
Snitching's good, but it's not one of their biggest songs. He should have did Just Shake the Room. I also think, with all respect to BET, they missed the mark only having Quavo do a tribute to Pop.
Yeah.
You easily could have hit up Favi. You easily could have hit up somebody else to do one of his hits. Like, it's not
We got
Gotti.
Gotti.
That's a good song.
Yeah, they easily could have did some, like,
50 Cent should have came out and
had Quavo into something else instead of Quavo doing 2 songs.
And how did Box win Song of the Year when it came out last year?
Because it's
Because
after
cycle.
it's
But
a
I mean, Laugh Now, Cry Later.
It's a cycle.
You did a song.
I think
I feel like if he was outside, it would have been.
I agree, but the box dominated Billboard. It was
Box
number 1 on Billboard for like
See, I'm
mad weeks in a row.
more street.
Absolutely, but I think BT tries their best to do a mixture of both now.
Life is good. It's the
My Future?
Sabbath. No, I said ODB and
That's it.
Tootsie Slide. I think those are the producers though,
Oh, probably.
because Tootsie Slide.
That's Life is that's Future.
Life is good. Oh, it did come out.
These are the producers,
good.
bruh. Rockstar, Seth in the
man.
Kitchen, The Box, Study Rock, that boy Jetson Made is right here, bruh.
Oh yeah, Hit Boy won producer of the year. And
Rightfully so. He has
Of
not.
course.
I think he hasn't missed
Deep Reverence.
Deep Reverence. What's the joint? Nights in the Middle.
Mhm.
He just did. Oh, I know we did album of the year already, but I think the album of the year dropped the day after we did our last podcast.
Burden of Proof?
Didn't-
Burden of Proof's going crazy.
Oh, Hit Boy produced Damien. All
And
of
Hit Boy produced.
Benny.
Yeah, he produced Burden of Proof. He produced
Conway.
Detroit 2. He produced Nas's album, King's Disease.
Yeah.
And
Benny was going crazy.
nah, he has credits on Conway's album, but he didn't do the whole album. But one of my favorite songs on that album, he did, and Conway even said Hit Boy did the production, rolling my wrist and I busted. Oh God. Yeah, Burden of Proof is definitely making the stamp
You know what I want
for
now?
album of the year.
I want him and Pusha just to
I want-
ourselves in the room. I don't know why. I just love Coke Bar.
I love Coke Bars too. I want a Pusha J Benny song. And they literally just need to call it cocaine. Like, don't even beat around the bush. Like, give it to me raw. Like, Benny, and it was actually a debate on Twitter about if Benny has better Coke bars than Push.
No,
I say
Because
Benny has
they're
the
the
best
same
street
age.
bars.
Yeah,
Benny has the best street bars in the game.
They're around the same age. They're
Yeah.
like the same. They're like from the same era.
Benny was in prison.
Benny
So,
was in prison.
yeah,
Everyone in Griselda was in prison.
So I feel like
Westside, Conway,
his
and
bars
Benny
are
all
hit
the time.
a little more harder because you know he went to prison for this. Like,
That's offending.
But
And
I
they be
mean,
shouting out.
you know, I
Dude's
mean,
still locked
it's
down.
hard to
Slide
rap
Green's still
about
upstate right
Coke
now.
if you've never done it. Or like maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's hard to rap about it eloquently.
Yeah.
This dude, you know, you could do the Migo whipping it up in the.
Yeah, because I ain't never looked up nothing.
I mean,
just say I put my hand
Conway
up.
and Benny and Push be painting the vivid picture.
And that's how
They
you
be
know.
saying things, if you've never seen it, you don't think it's real. Like,
Yeah, I didn't know Conway's face was.
yeah, he got Bell's palsy because he got shot in the back.
Yeah, I knew that he got shot, but I didn't know that he was like.
And
I've only heard him. I
As
never
he
saw
said,
him.
those little bullets I ate was like cookies and cake. Hard.
Bruh, I said, whoa. I said, whoa.
what? You gotta be different to rap about getting shot.
Bro, nah, in the back of the head. Not anywhere else but the back of this man was shot in the back of the head. He should be dead. He should be he should
I
not be
understand why
alive.
they gave Pop Smoke to do Arthur, but I wouldn't have been mad if they did Jack Harlow. That white boy can rap.
I wouldn't have been mad, honestly, if they gave it to anybody who was not
Yeah,
winning, because
yeah.
you can make an argument for anyone that
Who else
has
was on
winning.
there?
But I knew it was
Millie,
going
Rod
to Pop.
Wave, Jack, Mulatto, and Chocolate.
I only would be upset if me personally, I don't feel like Mulatto has made the same mark that those other names have had. And
Not
Ellie Chopper has stepped into his own.
I think
Wade
Mulatto's album's
stepped
crazy,
into-
bro.
Like,
Mulatto's
her album is probably
fire.
crazy, but like think
I'm not
about
gonna hold
what the other names did. Like Flo Milli, yo, just I
agree
Flo
with-
Milli's album off the strength.
I'm a fan of everyone on there. So I
And
agree
I'm a
with
fan
you.
of Mulatto. I really like Mulatto.
I think
Her freshman cypher was like one of the best. The one where she told 5 he get
yeah.
that was kind of
I think Mulatto's a great argument Mulatto could make is her hottest song is hotter than everyone on that list but Jack Harlow and Pop Smoke's hottest song.
They put Megan down.
And it's close with her and Rod.
I was
It's
about
close
to
with
say
her and Rod. But I think
because Rod got
from the
a few.
South, like, is a little bit hotter than Hard on Ice, which I think is still probably his hottest song.
I'm trying to think. What would
Rags to
his
Riches.
hardest song be right now?
And I think that's the problem with NLE. I think you cannot pick the one hottest song from him.
I would say, if anything, I would say Narrow Road because that video was crazy. Yeah. But then that's my favorite song by him at this point.
No, yeah,
Like,
Narrow Road's mine too.
Because
I think everyone on that list for Best New Artist is very good. They all have released a project this year, and each one of those projects is very good. I do personally feel like the highest replayability still did come from Pop. His assassination aside, so I think he deserved it. And I also think when it comes to impact on hip hop, Pop came in and shook it up.
Yeah.
Very fast.
He did not wait
Literally.
for nobody's
Went
approval.
one of my dogs.
And he's the face of an entire movement and sound that is not going anywhere at all. Like New York
Has Rhapsody
Drill,
dropped this year? I heard the winning lyricist.
she's done it. She had a feature run and she had a single.
Yeah, she has something.
Her last album was last year. She dropped the Eve album. It was like inspired about women, which was crazy. That's when
Was
Cole
Sweetie
was also
nominated for
joined.
anything?
No.
Good.
Well, she might have been.
Wow.
No. Let me not lie. She might have been. I don't know all the nominations.
No.
But I mean, I agree. Sweetie can't.
Respectfully.
I love Sweetie's personality.
I love her.
She's someone who, despite her lack of talent, I love that she's a celebrity.
Bro, she's regardless. Like, she looks that good. There's
Yo,
no
that's all her
dad.
mama?
There was no, yes, I have seen her. Have you seen her dad? You know what I'm saying? No homo.
He's
But
pretty.
like,
She has very
dude
attractive
just look
parents.
good.
Yeah.
Like,
He's pretty.
you just look at her
He's
just like,
pretty.
okay, like she looks like her pops, which is weird.
Mm.
Like she has the woman, you know, she has her mom
Yeah.
all
The
on her.
softness.
Yeah, but like she looks like her dad, and it's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
foreign people really do make fine children.
Yes.
And I'm
Yeah,
just
she's
like,
very
now I
fine.
have to
And
find
she
somebody
has
how to
a-
find
Big
to be
sponsor.
fine people.
She really has a wonderful personality. I think.
Yes. She's hilarious.
I
She's
think.
a bubbly person.
I'll say this too. I have like for a long time, I was like when I was younger, especially in middle school, I was such a purist. If you weren't making good music and weren't like spitting bars, I didn't want to hear your music. As I've grown, my music taste has evolved when it comes to hip hop and all of that.
Right.
I think there's so much room for bad female rappers, and yet these gatekeepers try to act like every female rapper has to be able to spit. Every male rapper doesn't
Does
spit.
not spit.
These niggas suck. Excuse my French.
Playboy Cardi does
But
it,
they
but he's
suck.
amazing.
So I'm like I know I know people who come to me and they're like, "There's no way you like Bump City Girls." Like, first of all, JT can rap, but regardless,
Period.
JT can't
Carisha
rap.
can't.
Point blank.
I think
Carisha
Carisha
needs
can't rap.
ghostwriter.
But one, Carisha is a very bubbly human. She's funny as
Yeah.
She's
Lord knows what, and I'm okay with them sucking because y'all let men suck in this game since
All
the freaking
the time.
80s. First of all, I'm gonna be this person. Okay, stop acting like everybody back in the day could spit.
They could.
Stop it.
They could.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. People been sucking in hip hop from the beginning. People been sucking in any genre since the beginning.
Yes.
They slip through the cracks. They find a way. They do whatever it is.
Somebody's like, I can
Let these women be famous and get their bag and not be good at rapping. Because if you want to purge the game of everyone who sucks, by all means. But it's too late.
I was about to say, at that point, music is gonna be so boring.
I don't know. Shit. You better not put no money.
Look, I sent the snowflake. I said
Did it work?
it didn't work, but it wasn't serious. I didn't send no serious snowflakes. It was like a playful snowflake.
A play snowflake?
Yeah.
I can't
Like I sent it, but like me and these people have a rapport. I slid in with a few sleeps. I slid in with a few sleeps. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Now, if I could, I would have said no, but
Bro, I can't.
But when she replied with the noodle cup, I was confused.
I was very.
It's supposed to be stir fry. They just don't have stir fry.
The fact that he
Because stir fry was hot at the
you
time.
so
when I
icy,
accepted.
I'm a glacier boy. Don't they have a song?
Sean Jackson had a problem still out.
Dang. You got candles, Flea?
Yeah,
I have
that's
to take
that's
a shower.
He's not on here because he always be texting while we on, and then after the show, I end up seeing his text, and I asked her, "Was he on?" He said his power's still out.
That's crazy.
That's
we got
wild.
phone
Hey, yo,
service,
what
though.
happened to day 26?
Bro, what you mean?
we know
what
the
happened.
same thing that happened to everything else P. Diddy made.
Exactly.
They gave what they could, and then they fizzled into the dark.
I feel like they're like insurance.
You don't know Day 26?
You never watched Making the Band?
I want you exclusive. Feeling so strong. How can we go on? No games, I want you exclusive. I want you, girl. I need you.
No.
You're young.
So there was a show called. Have you ever seen the clip of like Diddy making?
I know he had the show.
With grown men
Yes.
sing.
And Ryan
Yes.
stepped up and smacked
So
Eric.
the group that was had Brian and they were singing Boys to Men. That became Day 26.
Well, not everybody.
Yeah, not everybody, but
The best
some of
singers.
them. The best of those singers became a group called Day 26. He also had a group called Day
What happened to them?
They
I
had
forgot.
beef.
Okay.
That's why they broke up. They had heavy beefs.
Facts, he was mad beat.
Plus label issues. 'Cause
Yeah, and you know, Diddy. And they like they did like a handful of shows, probably did like 1 or 2 tours, maybe not even that.
Day 26?
I think they did like 1.
Day 26 had 2 tours actively, and then they did a tour a few years ago. Like
They should try to get on another label.
reunion thing. I don't know. You know what's wild?
The show like super old.
They
Yeah.
got classics.
Hey,
That was
here I'm really about to test if y'all was really watching Making the Band, right? 'Cause remember, final episode, he's making a band, he's telling the dudes who's gonna be in Day 26, yada yada yada. But do y'all remember my homie Donnie Sanchez,
white boy.
who he said he was gonna sign to a solo deal and then dropped 1 single and
And
then
that was
never
Never
did
did
it?
nothing to him,
Donnie was nice. I was rooting for Donnie all season.
bro.
I wonder why
I
he
was-
was add him to the group.
Remember, he pulled him from the group. He was in the group. I remember specifically hearing a scene of him talking about like it's different when you're
Then
the
he had that
only
man
person
Robert
singing
Wade.
in the booth because of the fact that every blemish now is brought out because you don't have other people around you picking you up. So like he was saying how much harder it is being a solo artist. I remember having I remember watching that little confessional scene and like he was just walking down the street like that's what happened in my head. So like that definitely was like yo Donnie.
Yeah, Donnie was nice. I definitely wanted him to have a career, and I don't know what he's doing.
How did he mess make it to Making the Band?
Bro, Diddy is
I don't know.
a tyrant.
And he's literally
The original band was
He's a
kind of
tyrant.
wild. Like nobody, no disrespect to them, but like nobody in the original band should have been like signed to P. Diddy's label as a group. Like it was Dylon, Chopper City, Ines, Babs Bunny, and whoever the other one was, Sarah. None of them, like, that was not the group. Yeah, I remember. I grew up on these things, bro. I used to watch these shows swearing I was going to be on one of them. Then I got older and was like, these shows are corny. I would never want to be on one of these.
I totally thought I was gonna have a dance group by the
Hey,
time I
Jabberwocky.
was chatting.
I'm glad that Jabberwocky is still running.
Yes,
Oh,
they should be.
Jabberwockies.
They deserve it.
Goated. I love how they're like able to just keep finding people who can dance as well as them.
Yeah.
Facts.
So wait, but the people that dance now aren't the original crew?
There's like some of them, but like there's
Yeah,
been
yeah,
changes.
all of them.
People have left and they pick people up or whatever.
I like how they do
But you never know 'cause they behind the mask.
Yeah.
Unless you like follow them like online and stuff. Like I remember when I was a kid, I like got to know the Jabberwockies from America's Best Dance Group.
Mhm.
So every time that somebody was different, I could tell.
That show was amazing. Y'all remember Super Crew? They won season 2 or 3. And they did that tower. That was nasty.
I remember that.
Man.
I used to throw up their S with them.
Bruh, Super Crew, Quest Crew. Super Crew was a group full of B-boys.
Mm-hmm.
And they was like crazy with it. There was the Quest Crew was lit. Who was that group of women that used to go crazy? Boy.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I don't remember their name though.
Oh, dang. I was so sick when they lost, bro. Because they lost to somebody that like really shouldn't.
Yeah, they definitely lost to a team that shouldn't be. It was like a team who like was clearly the inferior team, but that like showdown, like they really stepped up and then they still didn't deserve it.
Beat freaks.
There we go.
That's what they.
Yeah.
That grass was cold.
It was nasty.
Oh my gosh, there was a song called "Freeze" that they danced to. T-Pain and Chris Brown. That to this day is my favorite performance. It was like the challenge that we was like magic, and they had to like.
That's when the Jabberwockies did the.
Jabberwockies was that wasn't that season. That was like season 3.
I'm thinking of when Jabberwockies did that compilation of all those songs. Yeah.
Y'all got some good memories. Oh my god.
And now you'll be trying to
remember nothing.
I don't remember.
I remember what's important.
I think the faces names.
You be like, oh, do you remember blah 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 who picked you up that third Sunday of 2004? No, I don't. You're not a character in the story of my life. If this was 2K, you're deep in the nosebleeds. You're not actually. You don't even get a face. You're just animated.
Jabberwockies and them wasn't yesterday. How many years ago was that?
They left
Jabberwockies stayed relevant
to my life. To my life.
I remember when I was watching the Bob video and they came on at the end.
Yeah.
And I actually screamed.
Last time.
Oh! Whose idea was that? Whoever idea was
I
that?
think it was his idea.
I feel like it was Jenny Way. She choreographed.
Yeah, it couldn't have been.
Yeah,
Couldn't have been his.
Yeah, that's probably
I wanted them to do more.
I can't imagine because Jonathan just be like,
did Real Ghost do that one?
Yeah.
get the Jabberwocky.
I don't think Real Ghost did that one. I think it was the director's idea.
What, son? Bro, hit me out.
Shout out Danny Ray. She's a person who's clearly objectively talented who I just never end up listening to. And it's probably going to be that way for the rest
She
of
has
the
like
that?
one song that I really like. Maybe two songs. The song with Chris Brown.
She make?
music.
No, I mean like what
song?
has she made? Yeah, like what song?
You probably would know.
She has a song called Easy with Chris Brown. And then she has this other song with Lil Baby that I like called Baby.
Everybody got
It's called
Is she light skinned?
Yeah, light skin, curly hair.
The alchemist, the chemist, or something.
What?
The what?
It's about 2 different people.
It's a lot of light
Like
skin singers coming out right
with
now.
that literally I just saw that.
But she's more like
She's singing.
Mariah the Scientist is who you're talking about. She is fun. She's fun. She makes music.
Who knows?
I think a lot of people these days are trying to come up with the most creative name because names are like getting like really like wow now.
What you really do if you were like, I don't know how to spell it.
a rapper?
Or just
Hit artist.
an entertainer or something.
No, I've never thought about that much.
I can't spell it all.
I don't know.
I have clearly.
Well, yeah. So, I was going to say, what is it?
Sometimes I be wanting to change my rap name solely for like shock value.
I'm gonna change my rap name like twice.
I've changed it twice too. But my first one I never put no music out under.
My first one I didn't put music.
I don't want to say it. It's very embarrassing.
I was gonna say it, but since you did.
No. I don't know if you know it.
Oh, the very first one?
Yeah, like the very first rap name I ever had. I was in middle school when I first started writing raps. It was very
You're going to say it now.
Wait, was it cute?
no. That's what my nickname was. People call me that. It was Frankenstein, and
And
my whole gimmick was gonna be like I was like
Bruh,
perfect
how do you spell
monster
her dang
of
name?
hip-hop, like,
Is it Mariah the Scientist or Maya?
It's Mariah. M-A-R-I-A-H.
Okay, I was typing
He said Mariah like 3 times.
Maya. I'm sorry, but the first tweet that I see after I search her name is "She's so dang boring."
That's messed up.
That is so
That was
messed
very
up.
nice.
What is
Okay,
going on? Where's her-
This isn't really important. I don't know. I think I seen it on Twitter, and I was like, "Oh, Bill was big in Skepta." That's just funny.
That was been big in Skepta.
For real?
Yeah. For like a
How
year
long?
now.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Good for her.
Yeah, like
So
a
why
year
am
or
I
two.
just not
This
finding out?
past carnival, she was in a
No,
Jamaican
yeah,
video.
like just a year because
You know,
she just got
Skepta's
divorced.
I like.
Is Skepta Jamaican?
Skepta's from the UK.
I know, but he could be Jamaican
Yeah.
from the UK.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I thought you were asking about his accent.
Nah.
Because I thought
So
you like
that
heard his
really
music and was
not
like,
gonna
this
get
is-
any
I'm
more,
like, that's not Jamaican. He's from the UK.
Heartbreak.
He could be Jamaican. I think he was
I think
talking about his phonics. Might be.
Because I was really
He looks
anticipating
Jamaican
the
in the
next
face,
album of her talking about the divorce.
She's going to. She has to get in the divorce bag. It doesn't matter that she has a new man.
Right.
I need her. Hello.
I want to
want
see a little just.
What you want? Happiness? I know you want to say
No,
that.
no. I want her to still have like sad music, but I don't want it to be so like the drawn out notes and stuff. I want just a little bit faster.
Man, I want you in your bag.
A little bit faster.
Man.
I want all
Has
that.
she dropped since 20 whatever?
25? No.
Nope.
I
What's she
always,
now, like 30?
I always said when 25 came out, I was like, her next drop's going to be 30, though. Like, we're going to have to wait a long time.
5 years. Yo, Kendrick and Nicole, what are y'all doing, bro?
First of all,
Kendrick's dropping
did y'all
next year.
hear his verse on Busta Rhymes?
Oh,
I've heard that 2 years ago.
CLB.
I mean,
But it's
where?
nice.
Like, where
It
did you
just
hear it?
leaked. It was
Yeah, on what?
like
Because I didn't read. I didn't hear
What?
it.
What verse?
the verse on this Bus album that Kendrick has. It was like
Yeah, everybody was
like
saying that
YouTube.
it was leaked, and I never heard it.
I mean, like I used to be like deep in forums on Tumblr, like looking for Kendrick Lamar's. So
Did
yeah,
y'all hear that 3 Stacks verse that was supposed to be on Cop Shop here?
no,
Really?
I heard a 3 Stacks verse that was supposed to be on another song though, not Cop Shop Shit, but it was like mad old, and I don't remember the song.
Yeah,
but
that pocket he was
he-
in on that song.
He's never gonna make music.
I can see
That's
I
different.
think it's
What in Kanye's mind? Because I know it wasn't Nas's. Made him take 3 Stacks off Cop
I
Shop
think
Shit.
it was probably what the finish.
The verse?
Because the leak that I heard, it was just a loop,
Mm.
How many bars was it?
maybe 16.
Yeah, I definitely would have dropped it. It would have been there.
But I was thinking, I think that's something you push the album back for. Cause like,
Ye wasn't doing that during that time period.
Yeah, he's not doing that at all.
Ye
He's not.
really treated everybody like a science experiment for them that month and a half.
he did. I didn't like.
Granted, we got Daytona and keep that same energy out of it, and apparently people like Kids See Ghosts. I only like
it.
I
3
like
songs.
Quincy Good.
I like 3 songs on it, and the 3 songs I like all for Kid Cudi.
Yeah, at least listen to Reborn. That's my favorite.
Reborn is
song.
the best song.
It's amazing.
Hands down.
Great
It's a
song.
I didn't like. What,
I didn't listen to
I didn't like
anything.
Ye either.
Ye
that has to
wasn't
do
that
with
good.
Kanye from that time.
Are you serious? None of them?
You didn't listen to Daytona?
No, I did listen to it.
Oh, I was about to say, bro.
But if it had something to do with him, like as with more than just producing, like if I heard his voice, I was listening.
Wow.
That's why I was.
that was
all
because
the
he-
music he put out there was great.
He originally had a verse on Rose and Harlem from Keep That Same Energy, and I'm glad he took it off.
Yeah, what?
He had a verse on Rose from Harlem on Keep That Same
I
Energy.
love Rose.
I'm
I
glad
would
he
have
took
hated
it
the
off.
song,
Yeah.
but I
with
love that song.
You talking about Taylor?
Yeah,
Tiana?
Yeah, that song is so good.
I'm so glad he took that off.
Yeah,
He had a
that's
verse.
a good song.
The album? Or Keep That Same Energy? The album? I think a lot of that music she's had for a long time, and she just really
Yeah.
loved it.
Because I mean, she had like low-key beat with him because he was
Yeah,
putting it out for a long time.
And like even with Keep That Same Energy, she didn't want it to be 7 songs, but like he was doing the 7 songs.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like, and that's my thing. If an artist wants it to be longer than how, like, I think Daytona was supposed to be longer than.
It was. Daytona was I think 10 or 11 songs.
He was probably thinking.
But
his
when you-
own,
when you
space
let-
that,
when
no,
you-
it has to be set.
When you let Ye executive produce your stuff, you are handing over control at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like they're like people be talking about like, yeah, you know what I mean, we submitted the album and they went in and do all the final touches and then like songs sounded completely different. They were reordered, people were taking off. I wasn't on my own song. Like people be like,
What?
low key having because he's just like, you know, and it's a toss up. He's clearly a creative genius, so you could get, you know, phenomenalness out of it, but you could also do things that you don't want him to do.
Yeah.
And I think
Like take you off your own song.
well, like
He was
when I
trying
said
to do
they like he cut like people's verses short or like whatever, and it was their song or things like that. He didn't remove them completely from the song.
Yeah, like he just redid. I was watching. I think it was the JBP, and Pusha was like he had some other album, but Ye was like, "Nah, I think I could do it better."
Mhm.
And that's how they came up with Daytona. So he
Mm.
they completely went back to the drawing board, and
I think
which, granted, Daytona is amazing.
Daytona
It's a good
is
album.
amazing. I think very few people that are in the room with Ye when he's making decisions feel comfortable telling him they disagree or no.
I
I think
why.
Push is probably the only person in all of good music.
He must like is who he is.
Yeah. But I think even before that, I think Push was like, I trust you, I love you. Don't touch that. I like the way Dream
Because think
says
about it,
money,
like
alcohol there.
Push is a gangster,
Because
man.
apparently
Like
Ye was gonna take Dream off.
Push sold crack in the 80s. Push is not somebody who's
In
just.
Virginia.
Oh my God, Trevor Lawrence got COVID-19.
I still take him.
Whoever Clemson's playing this weekend.
Boston College.
They gonna get smacked. They back up on whoop
But
them.
staying on the Ye topic, did anybody watch the Joe Rogan?
I saw clips. I saw
I
like
watched Joe Rogan
couldn't
and the Wolf
sit
of Wall
through-
Street recently.
I couldn't sit through the full 3 hours.
that was amazing.
It was 3 hours.
I had to
Yes,
realize,
yes.
like, Kanye has this innate ability where when you ask him a question, he just unloads all of his thoughts.
Yes.
So the first question was, Joe asked him, "So you're running for president? What made you want to do that?" And then he ended up talking about his contracts, and he just went on this Kanye's mind is so complex.
Mhm.
I realized that
Watching
it took him 30 minutes
Crazy.
to circle back to answer the first question, and then he went on this long other tangent. I was watching it on my break today just to refresh, but I ended up like dozing off to it because he just goes on these long tangents, and it's hard to keep up because he goes one place and he goes another place and he goes another place, and it's like he thinks like he's painting in circles, if that makes sense.
Mhm. Ye has, in that interview, he described his thinking as he thinks three-dimensionally.
Yeah.
And he was saying how it's very difficult. Not how it's difficult. It's difficult for us to understand when he expresses his thoughts
Mhm.
because he expresses them in a way that like we don't think that way,
Yeah.
which I do believe is true. I also think that Ye is someone who thinks everything's one thing. And when I say that, I mean, I think he thinks all of anything he's focusing on is all connected. Like Kanye lives in his own cinematic universe.
Yes, he does.
And so if you ask him, why do the new Yeezy slides look like jailhouse slippers? He's going to talk about the rant he had about abortion because those are connected in his mind.
Yes.
And they're not to us as the outsiders and consumers. And it makes it difficult to deal with his rants. But I also think a lot of what makes it difficult to deal with his rants right now is the fact that Kanye is very much, he gives us Get Out vibes. But then it's like, nah,
He
I'm
gives
not
us Get Out vibes, but like he's fully aware.
Yes.
He's fully aware of the position he's in. He's not possessed right now, but
Yeah.
he's still telling you to get out.
It's like it feels like he is like personally choosing to live his life in a sunken place so that he can then communicate to us what it means to be there so that we can understand
how he got there and like
that makes perfect
and what it
sense.
means and like how to avoid it. Almost all of Kanye's efforts are usually like 9 times out of 10 coming from a very good place.
Real talk.
Almost all the time he messes up execution and communication.
That's almost literally like what he's doing. Like I know I watched that, like the Joe Rogan with him on Kenny Beat's stream because they were like in the chat, they was like, yo, it dropped today. And Kenny was just like, are we watching this? I mean, he was like, yo, it's 3 hours. It's not 30 minutes to turn it off. We're watching this. He's like, forget it. We watching this. So I'm on his stream watching this, right? Listening to him talk about what he's saying, you know what I'm saying? Just like how the chat's going and stuff like that. And he was like, it got to a point where they were like, really? Like a lot of people, this is Kenny talking, he's like, really? A lot of people don't understand that Kanye is like, just from certain conversations he has, he opens up conversations. So like there's things going on with talking about contracts for artists and talking about contracts, how like, you know how messed up the industry can be. Like, and I'm pretty sure Kanye at some point has had to navigate through that. So like, you know, those types of situations, it's almost like whatever it is that he knows something that we don't know.
Mhm.
And like
Absolutely.
he has no way to tell us except for the way he's been trying to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to get you people, and it's like that could frustrate anybody.
Anyone.
Yeah.
Like
Especially when
Like,
you in
get
your
it.
mind know you're right.
right, yeah. Like I've seen it. I know that
Now,
it's happening. I know
I
what's
will
going
say
on.
there are certain things Kanye
Let me help.
says that are incorrect, but I think the thought that happens in his mind is right,
Yeah.
and then it somehow filters and becomes very wrong things.
Yeah.
From here to here. It's
Yeah, it
it's
goes
weird
through. It's a
track.
very long journey, I think, for the origin of thought to whatever we hear for Kanye. Much longer than probably for the average person. I will say with the contract thing, while he was doing all of that, I was letting everybody know. I was like, Kanye is not incorrect. He's telling the truth. But one, you cannot tweak the pages of your contract. That just, it makes you look crazy. You cannot tweet you peeing on your Grammy in the toilet. That makes you look kind of wild. And you cannot try to be a crusader for the ending of the slavery of record deals in music when you have facilitated those deals to other people. I'm gonna be honest. There's no one who's been signed to good music who has a positive good music experience. They all love Kanye. They hate good music and being signed to it. Sean, Sci-Hi, Tiana, 2 Chainz. Push is the only one who's like good. Everybody else hates it. Sci-Hi's free now. Big Sean's free. Tiana's still there, but I think she's working on getting out. 2 Chainz, I think
What's
he's been
the title?
gone.
Yeah, 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz on this on Master.
Designer is still there, and Designer hates not only good music. Designer hates the entirety of the record industry solely because of how good music treats him.
So do you think Kanye knew the intricacies of all those deals that he
Probably
Yeah,
not.
probably not, but
I think
in a sense he knew what the deals were.
Here's one thing I'll say, right? I don't remember who said it, but some rapper said it. It was like, you could go to anybody in the industry and show them a bad deal after they've signed their first deal and show them a bad deal, and they know it's a bad deal. None of us know what a good deal looks like, except for the very few who have a good deal. And so I think the majority of people who have a good deal are the people who like lobbied dealing with things themselves for as long as possible. Nip and Mac are the two examples I think of people who, once they got signed, it was free sailing. They walk in the building, tell them what they're going to do, and walk out.
Yeah.
They had that carte blanche because they waited until it was like, okay, you see what I am?
They're established.
Yeah.
You see what I do? You see how I did it by myself or with a distro
I
deal,
don't need
grassroots? Now we're gonna get ball with each other, and I'm gonna use your
So their
machine.
deals are more like partnerships.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nip literally described his deal as a partnership, and Mac to the same degree. Mac, like, literally people are like, why sign? You've been independent this whole time. He literally said, I just wanted to see what it was like to have the machine.
I
Like, I've been doing it off the
Yeah,
machine
like,
this whole time. I just
because
want to see what it's like to
honestly,
have the machine.
Once that's
And
really
respected
like
him.
that's my whole goal. Like I don't want to sign to anybody. I want to be able to own my own masters. I want to be able to own all my work. And the only point in time I want to sign is when I need the distribution. Like think about it. If I in my own right in these little studios that are around Georgia, if I can take over the metropolitan area, if I can get people listening to my music in just the metropolitan area, that's enough. You know what I'm saying? At least for money. You know what I'm saying? From the money standpoint. So then I can take that and then I can go to somebody and be like, look, you see what I did on my own. We could work with each other. I can help you. You can help me. You know what I'm saying? All you need to do is distribute. You feel me? Give me that distribution and then put my stuff in front of the eyes it needs to be in front of. And then, you know, my deals come, not even deals, but like, you know, the money comes to me. You know, people asking me for beats, people asking me for features, whatever it may be, you know.
So labels like TDE and Dreamville and Rockefeller,
Independent labels?
Are they under
No.
They're not under like an Interscope or anything?
No, yeah, they are.
They are?
Yeah. All independent labels are signed to that are under another label. There's 3 major labels.
Interscope, Alamo.
No. Interscope's and there's the 3 major labels are Sony, Universal, and Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Now there are like labels that operate like major labels, like they have corporate offices like Interscope, Def Jam, yada yada.
Interscope is M, right?
Interscope's Jimmy Iovine.
Yeah.
M's M doesn't really have. No, yeah, M Shady.
Oh, Shady Records.
Yeah, M Shady. Dre is Aftermath. Shady, Aftermath, and TDE are all under Interscope.
So what is
Internet
Dreamville?
Money's on the Internet Scope.
Dreamville is just like an independent label that I think is under Rock Nation because J. Cole was signed to Rock Nation with and Rock Nation's a label that's under Columbia. But now J. Cole is no longer with Columbia, but I think still has a relationship with Rock Nation. But I don't know if he's still signed to them or not. And the reason why is because I tell people this all the time. It's not difficult to start a label.
It's really not.
There used to be a time where as an artist, Jay-Z was like not the first artist, but like the first time we saw a rapper decide to say, I'm a play executive.
Yeah.
And he did it with Def Jam. Like it used to be you had to be a big face. Polo G has a label.
Really?
Yeah, he signed Scory like a month ago. Polo G has 2 albums. I love Polo G, but he has 2 albums.
Well, I think Offset has one.
Lil Bibby has
Because he has
And he has fire on it because he got Juice WRLD and the Kid Laroi. So he's not missing.
But he coming out of retirement soon.
Yeah, oh my God, did you see?
Who?
Lil Baby's coming out of retirement. Now, if you wasn't there, then you wasn't there. But if you was bumping free crack 1, 2, and 3 like me and my guys there was a time where if you saw me, I was either listening to Ballin' Like I'm Kobe or Free Crack 2. That's all I listened to for like 2 months of junior year of high school.
That was like,
how old is Lil Baby that he retired?
He's young.
Lil Baby's like 27, 26. Like he's 2 years older than me.
Yeah, he retired because he kind of.
Him and Herb the same age. Herb was
Yeah,
born 95.
he originally retired to go to school.
Yes, he was. You're the same age as
Chance to go to college, but then he
Chance
stopped.
Herb is 3 months older than you.
Shout out to Chance the Rapper because everybody hates him right now.
That's
Well, I think people
Because he's getting whack.
Cole told me Lil
He's
Mama.
getting
Yeah,
very whack.
Yeah,
Who?
Chance.
Rapper.
That's why I said shout out to him because everybody hates him right now.
Somebody so great end up getting whacked.
easy.
Falling in love can
Wale.
really kill your inspiration.
Oh, Lord.
Wale's not
Not
whack.
whack.
Well,
Love is supposed to give
popular
you something.
opinion, Wale is
to
not what he
talk
used
about.
Oh no, yeah, people hate Wale, but I
Why?
think people on Twitter and like the internet hate Wale, but I think people hating Wale.
I think because they compare everything to but his last album was good.
His last album was amazing. And that, first of all, Wale does not have a bad project in my opinion. Now he has things that are
slide bomb.
Ambition.
That's Ambition. Ambition was crazy. The Gifted was crazy. The album About Nothing was crazy.
I love album about Nothing.
Wow, that's crazy. The joint he just dropped last year is amazing. And
K Camp dropped this year?
K Camp dropped Kiss 5 this year.
Bro, I remember Kiss 3.
Yeah, Kiss 5 dropped this year.
I remember Kiss 3 dropped
He
when I
was
had
too
first
young.
went to Middle Tennessee and I was playing.
I always feel like in hip hop, if you get a trilogy, stop going. Like people who go beyond a trilogy in hip hop,
I'm not going past volume 2s.
I think you can get a good trilogy. Like as an artist, like I think if it's good, you can
Think
stretch it
Fab
to a
will keep
trilogy.
rapping.
I don't know.
What?
Fab?
At this point,
Fab seems like someone who would never stop
I
rapping.
feel like he just
he's never
You
gonna be
can't-
out of punchline
If you're a punchline person, you don't want to.
ever. He's just, but
That's
he's
why I
now
want to see
that
him get
corny
back
old
in the
dude.
Yeah, he's that corny one.
Yeah,
No.
Fab's been
Now
in the game
that-
long enough where the people who like are the main consumers think he's corny.
Yes.
Like, and even me and myself, I'm like, yo, this man.
Some of his fits,
Some of his stuff, I'm just like,
some of his fits be corny. I've been
His
from
fits are awful.
I used to think he was.
I have to go back and listen to
that.
so
Oh,
God.
Yo, first
He
of all,
needs help.
Fab gets busy. The Saute trilogy is nasty.
Yes.
The Funeral trilogy is nasty, and the first 2 Summertime Shootouts are nasty. The last one was underwhelming, but I like
Very
the song.
underrated.
I like
Friday
some.
night.
But all of them were great.
But we're
Fab
nearing the
has
end, so I think
Fab
this will be the
got
last topic.
catalog.
Y'all seen that T.I. and Jeezy locked in. I think T.I. was ducking smoke from Busta, but that's another conversation.
He was. Well, he wasn't. He had a good reason.
First of all, what
Busta was
is
smoking.
Busta was-
Yes.
what is Tip standing with Gucci Mane? Because
like they're cool.
are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tip and Gucci are cool. They like have the thing about like who started trap music, but it's not a real beef.
Yeah, it's not.
And Jeezy has that same thing. All
And
3 of them
technically-
swear they started trap.
And
music.
technically, the first person to drop anything with the word trapping was T.I. So that's why
That was Well, the first album.
Yeah, the first
Gucci
album.
had like a song that had the word trap in it or something.
But like the first studio album. Well, not even studio album. I think that was like an album, like a
Yeah, he
a
did
track
the
album.
mud. Yeah. It was
Predictions? I think
for
it's
T.I.
gonna-
Jersey, T.I. Jersey are having a versus.
T.I.
It's the first one of
T.I.
season
They're
2.
having the verses.
Yeah, first one of season 2.
It's like next month.
I like
Yeah, it's
Jeezy as a
like
person
November,
more.
middle of November.
But T.I. still has more hits.
He has
Yeah,
hits,
I do.
but I think the T.I. hits like the joint he got with Robin Thicke and
Yeah,
the joint he got with Rihanna. I don't think it's that type
They're
of
very
setting.
like,
You don't.
It's
You gotta
not.
think.
You can't use
I'm gonna
those.
keep it 100 with y'all.
And Jeezy got mad Hove tracks.
I'm gonna keep. Jeezy does have more hope tracks. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. T.I. is gonna win. Here's why.
He's gonna
Wait,
win. I think it's gonna be a lot closer.
T.I.
No, T.I. was
T.I.
very
Jeezy.
busted. So it's T.I.
I think it's gonna be a lot closer to people thinking.
You know, I have it 11-9 in my head. I think it's 11-9 or 12-8, but I think it's T.I. And the main reason why I think it's T.I. is because all of Jeezy's hits are hits like for the streets.
Yeah.
T.I. has
T.I.
has hits for women. He has. If T.I. plays blurred lines, which he's allowed to do, it's a win, even if it shouldn't be. Because it's blurred lines. People love blurred lines, even though that song sucks. I love it, but it's terrible. But people love that song.
It's a very
No,
like.
I don't think
He's
he will.
not gonna play blurred
He can do 20 without getting into blurred lines. But that's my point. Is I think his hits look different.
You got, bro.
There's more-
That paper trail album.
music.
That paper trail album, bro. Jeezy's. I think. I can't even think of an album that Jeezy has that's like
TM103.
TM 101 and TM 103 are
that's
probably-
definitely better than paper trail.
Oh no.
No.
Between the two of them, T.I.
And then
has the best
Trouble Man.
album.
Like, and then Trouble, like, you got Trouble Man. There's plenty of songs on Trouble Man.
Hey, Change.
Oh my goodness.
Change said she was watching.
Shout out to the Change.
But like,
We can't wait, Change.
bro, this man got you gotta live your life with Rihanna.
I would have preferred T.I. Busta because I want to see T.I. have a challenge, and I think Busta would.
Busta
Busta
definitely
rhymes with it.
Boy,
I think
Busta
Busta
just came in with them different
They
color
said-
videos.
they said
Yes,
Busta-
Them
that's
songs.
This is-
Oh my god.
That's a mirror match. It's gonna be a bunch of tied rounds. We're gonna leave it like
It's lit.
they went. Everything went 0-0 20. Like it's gonna, it's
Wow.
gonna be mad draws.
That's wild.
I think Busta, rightfully so,
It's like Lil
because
Kim.
not many of them can beat. I have a short list of dudes who can beat Busta. I think 50, Hove, Ye,
That's it.
and Wayne.
That's a whole different. Like that's a he survived eras. Like it's different
Yeah,
when you
he transcends multiple.
transcend.
And I think that's why
Like,
T.I. was done this
Yeah,
song,
that's what he
because
said. T.I. said
Busta is generational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Busta,
T.I. said the
Busta was
generational
like
gap is
Busta
too
started the generation before T.I. was
Wait, bro,
And
Busta
then,
has
like,
hits.
was there.
Busta has hits that came out when LL was spitting. Like not like when he was
Nah, you're
spit-
right.
Like Busta has yeah.
Bro, that's the
T.I.
album
was
was just
good.
talking about. T.I. album is just T.I.
Yeah, the Libra is good.
I let it read. I ain't gonna lie.
I like Benny.
That's my
Burke.
favorite song.
Yo, T.I. put everyone on it. He put Conway, Benny.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
He does. He has good on there. He got
Party
Party
is my
Dub.
favorite song.
He got
Which one he got
21.
rapping?
He got 21
So
Savage.
good.
Yeah.
She's on there.
The funniest part about it was we were. I was listening to
He signed
Rain.
him at one point?
Yeah. That's
Is she,
okay.
is she still?
No,
Heck no.
they don't mess with each other.
That's another label.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing about it was my boy Jars. We were listening to Rain, and he was just like, "Why does T.I. sound like he's condescending every time he raps? Like he doesn't sound like he's, you know what I'm saying, like the player that he used to be. He sounds like he's read a lot of books in prison." And that was so funny.
Genuinely, T.I. is like the dude who like was mad street, went to prison, and came out like
Speaking
mad
words,
eloquent,
yes.
and you're like, bro, I know you.
Right.
Who's this nigga in front of me? Like,
Hey, what did y'all remember the clip from the rap game when he said something and Cardi's like, "Where you know all these big words from? Like, how do you know all these big words?" And he's like, "Well, Cardi, I went to prison." And in prison, you do like a lot. And Chaz was dying, man. That was the funniest clip. I ain't even watched the whole series, but
that's what was gonna happen.
people keep telling me I look like D Smoke.
You look like
I don't think.
Tell me that
I don't
too,
think
but
you look like
I
D
don't
Smoke,
look
but
like
that's
him.
because
Yeah, just,
I think
I cut my hair up. I don't look like either.
yes, but I think you look more like Keith.
This
D
fits you.
Smoke.
I like this is your look.
To
I can't imagine you with short hair.
D Smoke.
Don't you ever.
Like,
No,
You need to get it out.
It fits your whole persona.
Don't-
You have to keep it.
I think I might cut my hair back to the waist. Give me a brush and a do-rag.
You be choosing.
Those
so much.
waves
I
used
don't
to be
remember.
having.
You
I just
you
be
had
so
a
lazy,
pro-
feeling nauseous. They were so deep.
Now I gotta bring them back just because.
Oh
Until
my
you do
gosh, I am
stuff.
disgusted.
Shake it,
I used to be like,
I just need my.
I used to be like, nephew, whoa.
The waves is coming back.
Waves.
Waves is coming back.
Righteous.
Okay, real
Righteous.
quick. I know you said that was the last one, but with this being with Jeezy and T.I. being the premiere of season 2 of Versus, what's some verses that y'all want to see in theory?
Ooh, I want to see Drake go against somebody.
Drake
I think he can only go against
like,
Kanye,
Or Jay?
but he would lose against Jay to me.
I don't know.
I think
why
him and
I think he would.
I think Hov got more. Like
I
you said,
honestly-
street records.
I think
I
he
want to
got-
see Thug against Future.
Ooh, I like that.
That'd be nice.
No,
That one would
We would.
I think Jay and Drake would be the most debatable.
Yeah.
I think
Jay,
they would
like
I wanna see
electronica.
DJ
No, Jay-Z. Like
Drake.
yeah. If they were against each other, I think if they were
Ty
against each
Tribbett
other,
would
it
wash
depends
DJ
on
Head.
you. And yes,
That's
Ty
not
Tribbett.
even. That's
First
not
of
even
all,
a verse.
Ty Tribbett's doing.
got some
Yes, but Ty Tribbett's doing the dirty. Ty Tribbett's winning that 15 spot.
trap gospel.
DJ can only do about 3-4. Amazing top to bottom.
Yeah, Ty been going on. Ty
Ty Tribbett
15-5 in that.
is the.
I would like to see Karen Shearer talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the fans.
I want to see CeCe
But they
Winans
flow
do
so
something.
much together. I don't
They
think
do.
they can do a
They
verse.
do.
I want to see CeCe.
Sasha,
Well, I didn't-
wait,
I
Sasha Khan new album, Royalty. Oh my God.
We go hard.
Woo!
I didn't think what you would call it. This is gonna sound so messed up. My brain is having a brain fart. The two old ones, the two old women who went. Like I didn't think they.
Gladys and
Gladys and
Patty
Patty. Yeah, I thought that theirs was gonna like I knew it was gonna be amazing, but I didn't think I thought it would feel like watching almost like one person's show because like you said, I think they flow very well, but it was one of the best ones.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
I think it's
all
always better when it's
yes,
low key.
I love that.
Like Brandy Monica. That was
I want to see
Brandy
Keisha
Monica
Cole.
was phenomenal. Brandy took it. I don't care what nobody said.
I want to see Keisha Cole.
Fantasia.
I was about to say Fantasia, but Fantasia smacking Keisha Cole.
Yeah, to me, I was about to say.
Actually, hold on, no.
Keisha Cole with Fantasia.
Yeah.
Keisha Cole might be Fantasia.
I was about to say, nah.
Keisha Cole might be Fantasia. We're not talking about. We're just talking about. Keisha Cole. Keisha Cole has hits. Keisha Cole has more hits than Fantasia. If we're talking about vocalist, if we're talking about being a vocalist, Fantasia smokes it. If we're talking about hits, Keisha Cole has more hits than Fantasia.
Bro, Keisha Cole. There was a Keisha Cole era, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know why she gets so much hate now, but she had an era. I was gonna say Alicia Keys, but she.
I don't want to see.
Alicia Keys would smack probably whoever.
Anybody.
I don't.
Yeah.
And I don't. Well, no, she did when she had John Legend.
She was dumb.
Yeah, Alicia Keys went against John
she
Legend.
did.
And I was watching it and I dropped out because they were so not entertaining.
Yeah. I can't imagine that being.
It's
They're
so
both very boring.
Yeah, and they both were
Very
singing
boring.
live the whole time and playing instruments.
But I'm saying, like, I don't want to do that.
You don't go somewhere.
Say,
Oh,
I know.
I want to see Jill Scott go against somebody.
I want to see.
She went against Erica Badu. What are you talking about?
No, not Jill Scott, not Jill Scott, not Jill Scott. You're right. I'm thinking of not Jill Scott. Oh my God, Jasmine Sullivan. My bad. There we go. I want to see Jasmine Sullivan go against
Jasmine
somebody.
Sullivan is so amazing.
She's phenomenal. Ooh, that might be a bad one. They're both crazy vocalists.
Jasmine Sullivan has more hits to me than
Then Jennifer Hudson.
but their vocals
Hold
are
on.
very like.
Can J Hud use Dream Girl?
Wait. What about Keisha Shearer?
Kiki Wyatt. Kiki Wyatt can do some runs.
Kiki Wyatt's my second favorite. Kiki Wyatt is my second favorite vocalist on the planet. But she is better. But I don't know if Kiki Wyatt can give us 20.
She can't. She can just sing for
Like she's gonna have B-sides, and we're gonna be like, we don't know
Big
this.
Sean go against somebody?
Yeah, I want to see Big Sean Wale.
What song?
I want to see Big Sean Wale, and I have Wale taking
What
that.
about DJ?
DJ
He'd have to go against another hit maker.
Khaled.
I don't see
I feel like
somebody
Khaled would
else.
have to go against somebody like
Yo, Khaled's probably
Mike Will.
smoking.
because like Mike Will's the only other person that I know that has like albums like that, like
Yeah.
him at least,
As a
or
producer,
drama.
Usher, Chris Brown.
It's not. It's never gonna happen.
Why not?
They're gonna dub each other. I think they both, even though they're both confident, I think they both know going in that they can lose it depending on who's watching that.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about Jay-Z and Drake.
Bruno Mars is Miguel.
Miguel's watching Bruno Mars.
And listen, Miguel's music is way better than Bruno Mars's, but Bruno is probably winning the match.
He probably wins because of the fact that he has
Of 24 Karat Magic.
gold.
Yeah.
Like
Off that album, he can play literally every song on that album, and it's winning majority of rounds.
Yeah.
I will say Miguel has the best R&B song of the 2010s. It's Adorn.
Yes.
What about Omarion and Usher?
Omarion's getting smacked by Usher. Don't just
Omarion's getting smacked by a lot of people.
no. Hold on. I think Omarion can catch a dub depending on how you. Ooh, Omarion and Batman would be good. If Omarion smacking Batman and I'm black because I don't like Batman no more because he married that little girl.
What?
You ain't hear about Batman? Batman married a 19-year-old girl. Marcus Houston.
oh,
You didn't see Sister? He was Batman.
He was Batman.
Wait.
What you mean he married a 19-year-old girl?
He married a 19-year-old girl. I'm not speaking Chinese. She was 19 and they got betrothed. The end. And he 30-something.
Yeah, I want to see Coach.
Parents gave permission.
She's 19. It's nasty, not illegal.
Yeah, I think
Future and Thug, they gotta make happen. Especially because you know it's all love. They're best friends. I want to see Future Thug.
you know how I want to see?
do they have to
Baby smacking.
maybe if
Baby
have-
smacking.
maybe they do.
Bruh, honestly,
After
it
this album,
depends.
Baby
It depends at what point, like, do they start, like, because they're going to start with old stuff.
Yeah.
Like, the old stuff,
Gunna can rack up a lot of the old ones.
bruh.
But if I'm
Going
Baby,
to face, bruh, Gunna has some
but listen.
But that's like,
Baby Gunna
has some great.
Baby Gunna could end up like if they do it and they do start off with old stuff, it could end up looking like Snoop DMX.
I was about to say,
That
it's gonna
first
end up
half,
looking like-
everyone was like Snoop's killing DMX, and then from record 11 to 19, it was like,
Dang.
did Snoop get a dub at all?
Yeah,
He
like-
said, where the hood at? Rough Riders at? Slipping. That man played Slipping, and Snoop said, nah, for my deepest record, murder was the case. If you don't go say that, murder was the case. Slipping might be the deepest and most personally beautiful record in hip hop history. And just followed up with murder was the case. They can't find nobody.
He did it, bruh. He did.
He did.
I didn't listen to his last
album
album,
was
so
great.
I'm not
His last is like the one that Flex was on, but the one that was he just dropped.
When he got
What
like
about
Versace
Travis Porter and Rich
show.
Kids?
That
Travis Porter, Rich Kids? Rich Kids got it.
Rich Kid got it.
All right, well, we gotta close this bad boy out.
And then I don't even like.
I want to see Lucci
They
get
the
smacked
reason
by
why-
somebody because I'm like,
Lucci gets slapped by Schoolie.
yes.
If we're being honest, Schoolie should 100% be where Young Thug is right now. Because nobody even knows Young Thug was in Rich Kids.
Yeah, he was.
Like people
I
don't
found out
know
that
that.
2 years ago.
You know what I'm saying? Schoolie has put
was 10
on
years
so
old.
many people, and because of the fact that he just wanted everybody else to be good, he in turn didn't get the shine that he and the death
Black
right.
John Gotti went crazy.
The definition he got.
Black John Gotti was
Respect.
amazing.
John Gotti. All right, the outro.
Yeah, we've been here.
So, time to bring this.
Gang.
They didn't even have an analogy to bring the horses to the stable, and that's exactly what we're going to do. But before we outro, I want to talk to you, the viewer. If we could zoom in, this is the part where you would look me in my eye. Coming up on Tuesday is the most nerve-wracking election of our time. I'm not scared any more than I am every day that I wake up black in America. But I am nervous because I live in Stone Mountain. And no matter the results, I feel like them white people out there gonna start acting a little crazy. So all I ask is for all of you who live in non-racist areas to pray for those of us that live in some of the more questionable. Because if Biden wins, they come in with them AR-39s. And if Trump wins, they come in with the M42s. So keep us in your prayers. With that being said, if you haven't already voted, it's too late to mail in a ballot. So you're gonna have to go on Tuesday because today was the last day for early voting in the state of Georgia.
Tomorrow is.
Oh, it's tomorrow?
Tomorrow. And they're
because it's Thursday. You're right. Tomorrow.
You can Google their local drop-off.
Yes.
To slip your mail in there, and write them in the little hole, and go on about your business.
You know what I mean? Oh, Patreon is so bad. And so, you know what I mean?
But Daddy White.
Yeah. You didn't. Did you not see her face?
I see she light skinned. I just thought she was light skinned.
You could tell the difference between like they both black light skin and they mixed light skin.
Yes.
You can tell the difference. Ashton looks like they both black light skin.
Sorry.
I need Power Book 2 to come back just so I can watch her and whoever played Dina.
I'm like, just like barely there.
Barely there for what? Light skin?
Barely light skin.
She's brown.
She's definitely brown.
She's just light skin.
You're not light skinned. It's just you're lighter than her.
Outro. You see how we
Like the actual.
No, who else you listen to can do
light
this
skin.
for an hour? Nobody.
Hey, look, man. This has been another amazing, illustrious episode of the YSO Podcast, the podcast by the youth, for the youth, being a voice of the youth by giving a voice to the youth. And we are those youth, and you could be too if you file your taxes and vote. Now, you know where you can find me at on social media, you know what I mean? At Lions_Emmanuel, maybe underscore after that, I don't know. Also at the Even Saint, you can stream our music. Wherever you stream music, just look up Saint Even. You can also follow the YSO Podcast at YSO Podcast on Instagram.
Do that.
And
And
on
subscribe
Twitter at
to
underscore
YouTube.
YSO
It's
Podcast.
fun.
Subscribe to the YouTube Healing Pain Through the Arts. Join the Healing Pain Through the Arts Facebook group. That's where you can find us. No, but we should probably hear.
So what are the videos doing?
The Healing Pain Through the Arts group. And remember, a change gonna come. Yeah, that's it for me. We gonna pass it to Gandalf the White.
Oh, Gandalf the White checking in. You can follow me on Instagram at _CB03, on Facebook, Christian Buckmeyer, on Twitter at Coach_Buck03. Just like you were saying, go vote. Stay tuned because I'm guessing next Thursday. I don't know, manager. Next Thursday we're gonna have change. I mean, not next Thursday. Thursday after next.
Ooh, yeah.
We will have change.
Manager, you're not listening.
We better
We'll
have
see.
change. Change
We'll
where
see.
you at.
A change gonna come.
Change
Is change good? Nah, I don't know. Never mind. Go ahead.
Okay, you guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Ashton Gates with 2 S's on the end. I put it 2 S's.
You changed your Twitter?
I did.
Underscore skip my shoe. You already know what it is, man. I'm sorry. I told you.
Ma, where can they find you?
They can find me at Amber and Lions on Facebook. You can find me at Amber Lions on Instagram, From Pain to Purpose on Instagram. You can find www.FromPainToPurpose.com is our website. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and that is it. We out, and remember, only you can prevent forest fires.
Tune in tomorrow. I'll be on 106
Apart.
106 Live. 106 Live. They brought it to the AM station. I'll be in the studio. I'll be the guest on the Tanasha Gray Show, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Check me out Sunday night. I'll be on the Lisa Baxter Show. Yeah.
Is she related to Raven Baxter?
No, stop. But get in the know and connect with us, follow us, and all that good stuff.
That's crazy.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't forget to vote.
FYP Production.
She fell in love with the bad guy, but she loves my intentions. Nothing feels better than the moment we're sinning, no. Nothing feels better than the moment we're kissing. I'll say I'll love her for forever, in the morning forget her. She was raised under money, growing up she couldn't see the poor. Save my number in her phone under me or more. Look me in my eyes and ask what I need her for. So in this game of life, she just might keep a score. And darkness is clouding my judgment. Marijuana clouds cause the loud is so pungent. But me, I haven't touched a drug since that trait of white. I live my life before the fight like I'm Dana White. The block is hot like that boy band with Nick Lachey. Hold my heart in your hands like a Fabergé. Precious. We was young, dumb, and reckless, living like the devil couldn't catch us. Ugh, life
That long for where it's